wouldn't. I feel good. I knew that I wouldn't.
Hello, welcome back to Sassy in the kitchen.
Welcome to November, month of Thanksgiving.
Yes, that's our ingredient of the month, Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Everything will have a dash of gratefulness and thanks in it.
Perfect.
Indeed. So, what is our first recipe of Thanksgiving, Becca?
We are going to make honey cornbread muffins because I just thought that went hand in hand with Thanksgiving, but apparently Darcy was not a very good pilgrim growing up, and she apparently has never had cornbread muffins during Thanksgiving, which I think is a real travesty, so we're going to change that this year.
Yes, we are.
So the first thing we did was we preheated our ovens to 400 degrees, and then we have our ingredients laid out, and we're about ready to start.
We're trying this new thing where we use our hands a lot. Let's see how it goes. So Becca, can you tell us what we're going to do first?
Absolutely, Darcy. We are going to mix our dry ingredients together.
All right. Shall we begin to mix?
Yes. So we've got our flour. We have 1 cup of all-purpose flour. Throw that in there. And then we have 1 cup of yellow cornmeal.
Look, I put it in the yellow bowl.
Oh, I like what you did there.
Yeah.
Very color coordinated.
I try.
And then we're going to mix the sugar, which is 1/2 cup.
Cup. Ah, and it's in a cup.
It is. Delightful. And then we're going to mix 1 tablespoon of baking powder and 1 teaspoon of salt. I thought that sounded like a lot of baking powder, but what do I know? I'm just following the recipe.
We ain't no chefs.
Yeah. So I'm just going to mix all that ish together.
Now, I personally have always been a huge fan of the Trader Joe's cornbread mix. Like, I just think it's real good. So let's see if this measures up to my cornbread standards. All right. So guess what it looks like? Cornbread mix. Woo!
Okay. Now, Darcy, you want to do the next step?
Oh, certainly. So in another bowl, you're going to take 1 cup of whole milk. And I just bought it. Oh, whoops. My bad. That was like a cup and a splash. And then you are going to take 1/2 stick of melted butter and put it in that bowl. And you're also going to take 1/4 cup of honey. Now, I got clover creamed honey. It looks like this.
Ooh.
And it's really good on toast. I really love it spreads really well. It's not like runny. And so I thought that would be good. I guess we'll see if that's actually tasty or not. And then after you have all those things, oh, you also need to add 2 eggs. I'm sorry. To that bowl. And then after you've added your 2 eggs, you're going to whisk it all together. Egg. Funny story. I was making cupcakes with one of the kids I nanny a couple weeks ago. And I mean, he's like 2.5, so he's not exactly the best cupcake maker in the world, but he's pretty good for his age. And so I always do the eggs though. And so I was cracking the eggs and I got like the biggest piece of shell in there and I could not get it out. It wasn't like a little mystery piece that you like don't realize you got in there. Like it was a honker. And so I'm like digging around in the mix and I can't get it out. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm just going to have to bake it in there. I don't have a choice. So I baked it in there. And then like we frosted them. and then we both had one. And then they're like, oh, like take some for the road. Like we don't need all these cupcakes. And I'm like, okay. And so I have one on my way home in the car, and I have a bite, and it goes crunch. I was like, oh. And in a way, I was relieved that I got the crunchy cupcake.
Yeah, and then you can just wallow in your own shame as opposed to having other people
Have to have the crunchy cupcake.
Yeah.
Pretty nasty though. Cupcakes should not be crunchy. All right. Well, once your liquid ingredients are sufficiently mixed up, you can add those to your dry ingredients. And then you're going to mix those together. Now, how many cupcakes? How many muffins did this say this was going to yield?
12, it said, but I always have extra, so I have 3 things just in case.
All right.
And I'm getting a little crazy, and I'm actually add corn to mine as well, because I want real corn in my cornbread. So after I mix these ingredients together, I'm going to add the corn in that.
That sounds really good. I wish I had some corn to add. But alas, I do not. What do I have in my kitchen? What could I add? I'm not being inspired.
All right, and that's pretty easy. That's about it. And now we just pour it into our little muffin tins. I have little Christmas themed muffin liners.
I've got cute little striped ones. I got at Michael's for 99. I got for 99 cents.
Adorable. I usually like to fill mine up like 3/4 of the way, because anything more than that, it's usually just like exploding over. Because there's a lot of baking powder and salt in this, and egg, and it's sure to rise.
Yeah, and the muffin top is always the best part, so the bigger the better. Yeah, this is very, very fluffy batter. Is yours fluffy?
It's fluffy.
Oh, it's very fluffy.
I think mine a little less though because it's got the corn, but
Right. How was your Halloween, Becca?
how was my what?
Your Halloween!
Oh, it was delightful. Sarah got lots of candy and I've been eating it for days now.
Perfect.
I think I've been eating more candy than she has been.
What was Sarah for Halloween?
A cowgirl.
Cute. Did Rachel dress up?
Yeah, she was, her and her friends dressed up as the characters of Pretty Little Liar, that show.
Oh.
And she was the blonde one, I guess, because she's the only blonde in her friend group.
Very fun. And you were a treasure?
I was a treasure. Although I only dressed up for the Christmas party that I went to. I mean, not Christmas. Gosh, I'm already like 2 seasons ahead, probably because it's Christmas themed muffin tin. But I dressed up for a party, but I didn't dress up on actual Halloween because Chris didn't want to go out with us to trick or treat, and I didn't want to go by myself without my other half of the couple's costume.
Makes sense.
All right, well, I have a little left over, but I think I'm just going to toss it because it's maybe enough to make one more muffin.
I'm just making mine really tall.
I'm nervous to do that, though, because there's going to be exploding out of the muffin thing.
Yeah, mine are going to be not pretty. So definitely fold them out too tall. That's okay. Oh, I'd like to give a shout out. We haven't given a shout out in a while. To Vovo Janet and Polly. Hello. I had just had a lovely weekend with them in Philadelphia. And they're new to our fan base.
Yay.
Yes. So, hello, Vovo, Janet, and Polly. Thanks for watching. All right. So these are muffins. Mine are ridiculously full. I think that might be a problem. How long are we going to cook these in the oven at 400 degrees, Becca?
For 15 minutes until golden.
Oh, how speedy.
We're all about the instant gratification today.
Yes. Okay.
All right, and that's it until they pop out of the oven.
All right. That's all. Happy Thanksgiving, y'all.
Yeah, well, happy early Thanksgiving. We'll be seeing you before the holidays with more delightful Thanksgiving-inspired recipes.
Right. Next week, what should we do next week? We're going to do the fancy mashed potatoes?
Ooh, I like that. Yep, we're going to do fancy mashed potatoes next week.
Fancy mashed potatoes.
So look forward to that,
I
folks.
feel nice.
All right. Bye.
A sugar and spice. I feel nice. A sugar and spice.